Hey everybody, welcome to the review for the golf club from AMVR. So I'm going to be right up front with you. This is by far my favorite Quest 3 VR accessory, hands down, no questions asked. And it's simply because I enjoy playing walkabout mini golf so much. So I'm really excited. I have a smile on my face because it's so fun. It feels so authentic when you're golfing. So anyway, without further ado, we're going to get right into the review. Hey, that rhymed. Subscribe. Thanks. We're going to go ahead and get right into the unboxing. Let me grab some scissors. So we have our little instructions here, and it looks like we're going to maybe need it, but we're going to try without it as we usually do. All right, so we have our right controller. It only gives you a little window here for the right controller, so you have no choice but to use that one. It doesn't matter what controller you use, left or right, because you could use whatever hand you want once this is on here, I would imagine. So without further ado, let's figure this out. I'm assuming it goes this way. And then, yeah, we could see the design here already. So this door, this little latch here, this little area is going to go into the little window as we place it this direction. And that's what's going to keep it in place. And then that snaps in place there. This, it looks like, let's read the instructions. Aha, that's what I thought it was for. So yeah, this is going to be, a further secured method. So let's go ahead and remove this. We're going to make sure we have the controller strap on, because that's going to be our safety. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to throw this all the way on the bottom. We're going to make sure it's oriented right. So that strap is going to come through the bottom here. We're going to go ahead and latch and secure it. And then this, what we could do is it spins around. You spin that around a few times and then you adjust it so that it grabs onto it here. And there we go. Now it's nicely, firmly locked in place. That's not going anywhere. And that will keep the controller in because of this design. And then we have this latch. If this latch opens, there's still a safety. You could see the controller still doesn't want to come out, which is great. So it has a dual locking design. We didn't need that. You have a safety net, which is fantastic, and it works really well. Honestly, both designs are very well thought out in how it keeps the controller locked in place. So that's really cool. And then, yeah, you have a nice little putter here, which I'm trying to feel the weight of it. Yeah, that's going to be really cool to use. I'm excited. So we're going to go ahead and use it a bit in Walkabout Mini Golf, since that's the golfing game of my choice. But if you want to play other golfing games, obviously it'll support it as well. So yeah, we're going to go test it out, and I'll be back with my my final thoughts here. This is fun. All right, so we just got done playing a bit of Walkabout Mini Golf, and the first thing I want to talk about is calibration. Calibration was super easy. It's in the game. You do the calibrating, so I would imagine, depending on what game you're playing, you want to make sure that it has calibration for a golf club, right? A golf club controller like this. Walkabout Mini Golf was a breeze to set up. It was as simple as just holding down the trigger and lining up the putter so that it feels right in the game for you. You could always spin it around and make sure it feels, feels to your liking, up to your standard. And then once you want to save it, you just pull the trigger and that's it. You're done. You're good to go. So really easy calibration setup in Walkabout Mini Golf, at least. I was surprised by that. And the next thing, of course, I want to talk about is, how did it feel? So we're going to talk about just the size of it. First of all, it's kind of short. You expect it to be a little bit longer, but we're not talking about girth here. We're obviously talking about the length, but it has some good weight to it anyway. And while it's a little bit short, you would think maybe it's not going to feel authentic. Maybe you're going to feel how short it is, but that's completely lost once you're in VR. And on top of that, the controller is kind of weighing it down on the bottom as well, right? So it kind of pulls it down a little bit more than you would think, which brings the illusion when you're in VR that it's longer than it is. Oh man, don't we all think that way? So I thought the length of it was perfect for me, and hopefully it's perfect for you as well. We're gonna move on to, I'm just such a child, I guess. We're gonna move on to how it actually handled in VR. So because of that weight, because it brings you further into that immersion of you actually holding a full-size mini golf club, which would probably not be too much longer than this anyway. That's besides the point. Once you're in VR anyway, you're very immersed. It feels like you're actually swinging a putter, and it has such a good weight to it where I was able to make the putter more steady. My shots they felt more consistent. I haven't played in a while, but I remember how it feels holding the controller. You know, sometimes maybe they're a little bit twisted and it's hard to really kind of get it right. But with this handle, you're able to really rotate it to make sure it's exactly lined up. And, you know, the professionals know how to hold a golf club. I don't know how, but, you know, maybe you point your finger straight or something, put the pinky up. I'm not sure. But anyway, you have options for holding it how you like, and it keeps it a lot more stable. That's the main thing. Once it's, you know, the majority of the weight's here at the bottom, so once it's weighted down and it's in position at the, you know, below you here, it's nice and sturdy. And yeah, I was really impressed. Honestly, going into it, I was a little bit like skeptical. I was like, oh, what's this gonna do? You know, it's not gonna help the immersion too much, right? Like, it's a golf club and it's kind of short. It doesn't really look like it's going to be accurate and whatever. I was wrong. I was way wrong. This met my standards and it went beyond, to be honest. The quality of the AMVR putter itself is very, very good. You have a nice grippy handle that seems like it's going to last. It's nice and rubberized. It feels like you would, you know, go to a sports center to pick up a golf club yourself and it would have this material. Honestly, it's that good. So there's no shaking around or anything. The controller, it has that dual locking mechanism, which we talked about. So that's really good. You never feel like it's gonna fly away from you, which is great. And yeah, lastly, we'll talk about this in Walkabout Mini Golf. You saw I was kind of holding the putter like this, and it's a perfect length because when with it calibrated the way it is, you know, to hold it this way, in Walkabout Mini Golf you have to hold it like this in order to select menus. So I was kind of using it as like a buttstock, you know, here, and as if I'm holding a rifle or something. And it was very easy to control anyway in VR, kind of as a gun here. So that was fun. I'm trying to think of one other thing I wanted to mention, which is, I guess, just overall usability. Obviously, the controller is at the end of the putter. The putter is short enough where it wasn't an issue for me to pick it up. And you saw I was just, you know, pointing menus or pulling the trigger to go to the ball in VR. Obviously, in the options in something like Walkabout Mini Golf, you could auto travel to the ball, so that way you don't have to pull the trigger each time to teleport to that ball location. So there's ways around these things to play at ease and without, you know, having to even pick up the putter to pull the trigger. I'm not so sure in other games. Other games you might have to still pick it up to navigate the menus, but like I said, it's really easy. It's at arm's reach, and the design is really good, honestly, for that. So that's the AMVR Golf Club for the Quest 3, and if you liked this putter and you want one of your own, I'll leave a link in the description down below for you if you want to check it out and purchase one for yourself. I highly recommend them, honestly. It way surpassed my expectations. But anyway, if you like the video, go ahead and leave a like. It does help a lot with the algorithm, and just personally, you know, it makes me feel better. I'm able to sleep at night. And if you want to subscribe, go ahead and do that too. I make tons of hardware review videos, and I review every game I play in VR. So if you want to hang out, then it would be a pleasure to further entertain you if I can. Anyway, until the next one, I appreciate you all. Have a good day. Take care. Bye.